Christianity. And we read, knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. But if one loves God, one is known by him. This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 1 to 3. And we read, my now deceased mother really scolded me. She said, go away somewhere into the wilderness, since all you seem to do is look at books for all the days to come. You will be pitiful because the books block your path. Never will anything be revealed to you in a vision, for you live like a white man. This is Delaware Testimony, Native American Religion. And we read, of making many books there is no end, but much study is a weariness of the flesh. This is from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verses 12. And we read, 1,000 and 100,000 feet of intellect shall not accompany man in the hereafter. And the Grant Japuji 1, M1, page 1, and this is from Sikhism. And we read, this is true knowledge, to seek the self as the true end of wisdom always. To seek anything else is ignorance. Bhagavad Gita 13.11, and this is from Hinduism. I read that again. This is true knowledge, to seek the self as the true end of wisdom always. To seek anything else is ignorance. Bhagavad Gita 13.11 from Hinduism. And we read, though I reach a high rank in knowledge, I know that not a single letter of the teachings is within me, and I have not taken a single step in the service of God. This is from the Balal Shem Tov from Judaism. And we read, true words are not fine sounding. Fine sounding words are not true. The good man does not prove by argument, and he who proves by argument is not good. True wisdom is different from much learning. Much learning means little wisdom. This is from Tao Te Ching 81 from Taoism. And we read, of all things seen in the world, only mind is the host. By grasping forms according to interpretation, it becomes deluded, not true to reality. All philosophies in the world are mental fabrications. There has never been a single doctrine by which one would enter the true essence of things. And this is from Galand Sutra 10 from Buddhism. And we read, there is the wise man, Oh, sorry, I repeat that again. Where is the wise man? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God, the world did not know God through wisdom, it pleased God through the folly of what we preach to save those who believe. For the Jews demand signs, and the Greeks seek wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and folly to Gentiles. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. And this is from the 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 20 to 25. And we read, Rabbi Eliezer Hisma said, offering the birds and purification of women, these are the essential precepts. Astronomy and geometry are but fringes to wisdom. Minas Mishnah Avot 3.23 from Judaism. And we read, it was necessary for human salvation that certain truths which exceed human reason should be made known to him by divine revelation, even as regards those truths about God which human reason could have discovered. It was necessary that humans be taught by a divine revelation, because the truth about God, such as reason could discover, would only be known by a few, and that after a long time and with admixture of many errors, where humankind's whole salvation, which is in God, depends upon the knowledge of this truth. And we read, therefore, in order that human salvation might be brought about more fitly and more surely, it was necessary that they be taught divine truths by divine revelation. Therefore, besides philosophical science built up by reason, there necessarily should be a sacred science learned through revelation. This is Thomas Aquinas' Summa Theologica 1.1.1, and this is from Christianity. And we read, the whole object of the prophets and the sages was to declare that a limit is set to human reason where it must halt. This is from my Morning's Guide to the Perplexed 1.32, and that's from Judaism. And we read, human philosophy has made God manlike. Christian Science makes man godlike. The first is error, the latter is truth. Metaphysics is above physics, and matter does not enter into metaphysical premises or conclusions. The categories of metaphysics rest on one basis, the divine mind. Science and Health, and this is from Science and Health 269 from Christian Science. And now we come to the teachings of the Reverend Sang Myung Moon. I think it is already 5:50, so we may end our Hoon Dok Hae reading here and continue tomorrow with the teachings of our true father, the Reverend Dr. Sang Myung Moon, on page 726. Is there anyone willing to share from what we read today? The subtopic number 1, intellectual knowledge does not profit for salvation. I do?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I do. It has an African ring to it. I do.
Yes.
So, the first, all of them were just profound.
Right.
That if we analyze, I think it's a spiritual breakup. We need to break something spiritually. Like Swami said, we have to balance the one thing the Unification Church has promoted, and why we all joined them, because we saw the balance, we saw the necessity of the balance.
Right.
We feel the balance is needed. But I don't think we have practiced it. So that even that first, doing a couple of things, but that first paragraph, the first one you read,
Yes.
all of them were profound. And I think that we have to get to a point where this, like, the spiritual wisdom,
Yes.
if it's right position,
Yes.
when we lean on intellectual empowerment, we lose God, we lose the balance.
Right.
And it has a tendency to prevail, take subject over.
Right.
It's absolutely right. And it has been a dark downfall of humanity. And it segues into communism, it segues into moral faith, and even segues into justifying immorality, and all that.
Right.
And so, my are great, but they don't have common sense. Common sense really, really begs the spiritual insight.
Right.
So wisdom is spiritual nuance. And so this is why it's so needed at this time. And I was interested in the quote said about Scientology. Scientology is, I don't know, I have to open front of me. Let me see.
Right.
Scientology is something you remember.
Right.
What page are you on? Tell me what?
Page 726.
726.
Yeah, we
That's what you ended on?
yes. On science and health, actually, they have the Christian Science where we were in
Right.
Scientology.
Philosophy has made God man-like.
Yes.
Science has made man God-like. That's profound.
Right.
And see, in the intellect world has pride in itself in making God man-like.
Yes.
See? But God is trying to make man God-like. And so God-like is balance.
Right.
And I think anyway, I can go a little deeper than that, but I'll leave it alone. I'm just impressed with all of what is said also. There's seduction. It's an intellectual knowledge of spiritual wisdom.
Yes.
There is a huge difference between intellectual knowledge and spiritual truth.
Yes.
That conducive salvation and enlightenment.
Yes.
Intellectual, conceptual knowledge.
Yes.
All its utility in the world does not always profit the spiritual seeker. And too much of it may even impede higher realization. There is a gulf between Adam and Judaism.
That's right.
The conceptual system of the secular philosophy and the scriptural truth.
Yes.
Religion. Scripture calls us to check our priorities.
Right.
Live in an age that pushes secular learning. Live in an age that pushes secular. That's really profound. That speaks volumes. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Reverend Oliver. Yeah. I was impressed by Thomas Aquinas, on page 726. It says, it was necessary for human salvation that certain truths which exceed human reason should be made known to him by divine revelation. Even as regards those truths about God which human reason could have discovered, it was necessary that humans be taught by a divine revelation, because the truth about God, such as reason could discover, would only be known by a few, and that after that long time, and with the admixture of many errors. That means if we were to discover God by ourselves, we would go through a long time and go through so many errors by ourselves, and that's what by those philosophical discovery or intellectual knowledge, trying to seek God through intellectual knowledge and philosophy. That's what it will take us a long time, and it will only be known to a few people, and also it will be a mixture of many errors. Then it continues to.
There's an error of blood.
Right.
So much bloodshed.
Yes, because of that. Yes, that's why we could see communism and Marxism and all those philosophies of what humanity the structure of human social structure and governance brought so many bloodshed because we were going through our eras of searching how to even share the economy, how to share leadership and positions and power. All that brought so many people to death. Look at the eras of Hitler. Hitler murdered so many people because he also had his own philosophy, which was another human error. And even now, look at Putin and Russia and trying to invade another nation is still another error. And so far, that's why we see that people love to come to America because of it is the most progressive nation in terms of freedom and being close to God, in giving people their what they say, the alienable rights, that men are created equal. Yes. So even if America has its errors, but it is closer to God because it has the undercurrent of Christianity, which we know Christianity is by revelation, and it comes with saints and sages. So going back to that reading there, it says, whereas human minds hold salvation, which is in God, depends upon the knowledge of this truth. Therefore, in order that human salvation might be brought about more fixedly and more surely, it was necessary that they be taught divine truth by divine revelation. Therefore, besides philosophical science built up by reason, there necessarily should be a sacred science learned through revelation. This is from Thomas Aquinas' Summa Theologica 1.1.1 and from Christianity. So Thomas Aquinas studied both philosophy and knew that divine revelation is absolutely very necessary, because we cannot comprehend God by all reasoning, and that's what all these other scriptures from Corinthians and from Judaism and from Buddhism and from Taoism, Ecclesiastes and Hinduism, Bhagavad Gita, they are all saying the same thing, that men fall short of trying to understand God by books and their own writing and their own search. So I like that analysis of Thomas Aquinas, saying that mankind will develop better and become better by divine revelation and the truth. And that's what we need to stay open, no matter how intellectual we may become, no matter how much science and technology we may develop. We still need to be guided by new levels of truth that will come through revelation. Because God will never stop. We can never exhaust. There was a verse we read that said we can never exhaust God in trying to know Him. So,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What's the passage? It says that the strength of God is something, and the weakness of God is still stronger than the strength of man or something. That's very strong.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that is in Bhagavad Gita. We say this is true knowledge, to seek the self as the true end of wisdom always. To seek anything else is ignorance. And of all things seen in the world, only mind is the host. By grasping form according to interpretation, it becomes deluded, not true to reality. All philosophies in the world are mental fabrications. There has never been a single doctrine by which one could enter the true essence of things. Alright, yeah, so Reverend Oliver, I think you're right. We should sit and make our analogy writer and put both this intellectual knowledge, show each their place and their role. They have different roles, and how they unite, how they can bring unity and how they can bring harmony, and they can become complementary and they can become reciprocal for the sake of making a better ideal world. I think we, the people of the Unification Church, guided by True Father's wisdom, we have a better chance of bringing these two worlds together to harmonize and to work together. Thank you very much.
You're right. We're the subject. So, God for God.
Yes.
So, we're the one. When we do it, then He becomes the model.
Yes. Right. All right. It is 6:07 now. 6:08. Maybe we may end here. And Reverend Francis joined us too. He's here. You'd like to say anything?
About the eras.
Yeah, what we read today.
Yeah. So I just read about, they voted as the most powerful man in the world right now. They voted Putin as #1 and #2 is Obama, because aside from making this takeover of Crimea and then making noise in Ukraine, he also had an agreement now with China to make a pipeline, a very long one, for $75 billion. So he's one of these shakers of the world right now, even though he is insignificant, but he's like a thorn to not only America but also the whole Europe and Asia. So there's still, the red, of course, the communists, as we have known before, that they will just come out. Somebody tied a knot on the twins that came out from Tamar.
Mm.
They tied the knot first.
Mm.
It will come out, the reds will come out, but eventually he will succumb to, of course, not only democracy but also to
The word of God.
Word of God of Christ, and even the Lord of the second coming, or our true parents. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, great. All right, let us make a unison prayer. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Parent, we are truly so grateful on this Thanksgiving Day to see the power of your divine knowledge, which we have only been able to see a little bit of you, Heavenly Parent, by the revelation we have received from true parents.
We pray for
and we are really grateful to have these great insights.
Even our knowledge and all the
be able to
also of the traditions
be a
of our
people that are
true parents.
fortunate.
We pray
that
really
we have
as always our Heavenly Parents.
The most recent divine revelation
of the
that is
things that we
making
about
the ideal of God more clear and making it more easier for all of us to
have the courage
comprehend. And we know by us being true teachers, true parents,
like
true
parents
leaders, and true owners,
our father and mother,
and true partners with the Heavenly Parents and true parents, we can work and make a better world as we resolve today that we are the subject when it comes to the knowledge, because
words to humankind.
We can be able to identify the roles of intellectual knowledge and divine knowledge,
to the congressmen
and the spiritual,
and all the
and we can teach the world, and we can
bishops and all the
we can offer
around this
something
area. We
new to make our world a better place and bring in God to
good spirit
guide
our human
more
ancestors from
more
this
actively
generation
in our life,
back to now more than 200
let the knowledge of God,
even
let the Spirit of God take
take
its rightful position
they can always
in the world,
with us,
which we know Satan pushed out
and they can learn
and has been trying to bring all these other humanistic kind of knowledge
we pray
and the archangelic kind of knowledge by philosophies, trying to make things look good, but we know all things are not real and they are not the end. So Heavenly Parent, we are really grateful to get this clear revelation from true parents, and to see that you've been revealing this in other scriptures and in other parts of the world.
We can talk about the Father naturally.
We are grateful for you are correcting us and being patient with us as a humanity and as your children.
In our everyday life,
that we can mature in these words and they bear fruit to show our maturity that can make you happy and make this world a better place. We pray and record all this together in all our names and in my names, Ezra and Jim, carrying a blessing to family owners of Chineke. to our heavenly parents, our true parents of heaven and earth, and all humankind, and the true children, and the true grandchildren, and all brothers and sisters, all blessed central family throughout the world and in Washington, D.C. Siempre. Very well. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving Day to you all. Right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, thank you.
Ezra,
Yes.
you said something in your prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to teach this truth.
Yes.
It's about time to show this truth.
Yes.
You know how it works,
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, again, I'm going back in my mind and saying, maybe we should get to show how this truth works.
That's right.
I think that was our strength in the earlier days when we were a kind of community. We were showing how we worked our workshops, our evening programs, to our center, how we live with one another.
Right.
That's a show.
That's right.
More.
Right.
Alive to people.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe we can be doing something like 40 days condition when we come and live together, something like that.
It really has to do with, that's true. You're right. That is so true.
Yeah.
We really have to, cross these boundaries.
Right.
I do the American energy and what is it, the African descent unification.
Yes.
What I do the purpose is to do research, bring forth solutions, right?
Right.
So actually this chapter that we read
Yes.
should be a presentation, where have we not gone yet?
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think we are just right at the gate. Right.
To your holiday joy. I know you're talking about very serious subjects, but don't forget the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
What time is it on?
It's an example of beautiful. Us New Yorkers, we New Yorkers,
Macy's, yeah, no.
beautiful example of
They have new balloons.
unity and peace. Beautiful public parade. Nothing like that one.
But you know what I thought about as we were praying?
Yes.
Remember I gave were you there when I gave the sermon just Sundays ago about giving on last
Yes. Yes.
And if I would have really thought about it, the whole America was conceived on Thanksgiving.
Giving.
Think about it.
Thanks and giving.
Thanksgiving. It's deep.
It's very deep.
The laws of God. This country was finally built on a stuff. God got a country that conceived with for the first time in human history called Thanksgiving.
Yes.
if they break it down,
He was
thanks
the
and give it.
most travel time in America. He would travel because Thanksgiving. Any of the holidays.
Right.
That's very wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Reverend Oliver, yesterday someone passed through my desk at work there at Wilma Hill, and they shared that the auntie of the founder of this law firm, which is now voted like the best law firm, I think something like the best international law firm for the third period. I don't know how they measure that, how they come to arrive to that. But it was in the U.S. news. I think a newspaper in America. And now they have an article that the great aunt of the founder of this law firm was the one who petitioned for 17 years to several presidents to make Thanksgiving a national holiday until Abraham Lincoln. She approached even Abraham Lincoln, who also sanctioned it to be the national holiday what it is today. So I have this article here with me. The lady who shared that with me, I told her, oh please, I want to have that article. And it's here, I have it with me.
Wow, I would like to read that because I really never knew when it was finalized as the national holiday.
Yes, yeah, I have everything here. I have her photo, and it is an article in the website of the Wilma Hill, that law firm where I work.
Oh.
So
There you were.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it says, yeah, Wilma Hill celebrates ties to the mother of Thanksgiving.
Amazing.
Very amazing.
You know, in our first walk around the White House, a 3-hour walk we did.
Oh yes, it's true. Yeah.
First what we did was on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, and then you wind up working for the company. Amazing.
Yeah, and actually, Reverend Oliver, my first time to come to America, I came on RFK Blessing,
Oh, okay.
which was on Thanksgiving. I arrived in America on Thanksgiving Day. When I went to the Wanji's home from the airport, they told me we are having a Thanksgiving meal today. Then I wondered, what's that? And they told me, oh, this is a national holiday, you know, all places are closed, and it's Thanksgiving. So I said, oh, and they said, for you to come on this day, you must be like a pilgrim father.
You are.
Yeah.
The conversation with her is the new pilgrim father.
That's right. Yeah, then now I find another level of where it came from. So when I read this article, I felt I really want to search more history about this lady. I want to find more about their lineage and all that, and these are the people we need to bring up and bring to true parents. Their descendants need to come and make America what it was before. The values, we don't know where all these people are. Yeah.
Also, we have a lot of historic people with historic ancestors that helped build America in our movement. Like Dianne Falk.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for serving that.
Yes.
The author of the fun one.
So much intelligence, courage, and strength to come here, building a new life. So much really creative contribution as well. It's really remarkable. And it's a wonderful story that you have about arriving on Thanksgiving.
It is.
That's really great.
And they just shared it this morning on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, so this is like some kind of anniversary for me in arriving in America.
Wow.
Are you planning your celebration with your family or?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we are having our elder children come home, and I'll find them cooking. I'm going to work, but when I finish work at 3, I'll go home and we'll be together and share a meal together.
Good. Because actually 3 is the time too. I'm going up to my cousin's house. I finally got an invite to them.
Oh.
The one who's on Obama's administration.
Oh, okay, right.
Where does he live? What's the Obama's administration?
He is I don't know, he's changed a couple times. I think he's over the conference department. But they finally
I'm working also 10:30 to 2:30 today.